Yeah, how's it going, everyone? Marriland here, and that's right, it is indeed time for more Pokemon TCG stuff because, yes, this time my friends at Pokemon, they sent me these to check out. What are these, you ask? Well, this is the upcoming set, Astral Radiance. That's right, Sword and Shield, Astral Radiance, although it's definitely inspired by Pokemon Legends Arceus, because this traveled back to a land of myths, legends, and wildernesses, origin form Dialga, all that stuff. There's Hisuian V-Star Pokemon in here. There's shiny Pokemon reappearing as radiant Pokemon. Like, it sounds pretty cool. There's some neat stuff. So what I'm gonna do in this video, I'm gonna be opening up this booster box of the set. Now, this set actually releases on, I believe it's May 27th, 2022, so I'm getting a chance to check this out early, which is wonderful. I always love that opportunity. Again, huge thanks to Pokemon for sending this my way. But yeah, this is going to be pretty cool. So this is my new setup. I tested it out with a few various recordings here and there just to see. I think I got it down. Hopefully this works, but yeah, if it looks a little different than the ones you're used to, well, there we go. Okay, so 36 booster packs in here. By the way, this is the Elite Trainer box. I'll check this out in another video, but today we're going to be checking out this booster box. So let's go ahead and open this thing up. What do you say? So there are 36 packs in here. As I mentioned, it's based off of Legends Arceus, which I've played it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun. The battle system, it was hit and miss, but the overall experience of the game, like the setting was cool. Just running around looking for Pokemon was a lot of fun. It was a really neat experience. I was pleasantly surprised by that. And I'm not just saying that. It seems like a lot of people have that same sentiment too, where they really enjoyed it. Like, it was way better than they thought. So wonderful. It's great. I'm glad to see that. So anyway, it'll be kind of cool seeing that in the trading card game. Obviously they like to have stuff, kind of line up. I know it's, usually a few months after whatever the new game is, that's when they start to add it to the cards. But yeah. Okay, so I don't even know where to put all this stuff, but let's go ahead and go down to the pack cam. So yeah, we got the new and improved pack cam here. I swear I've tried all these different setups, but I like this one. I think it actually works pretty well. So the disclaimer, I always have to say this in every video I do where I open up packs. I like to take my time. You probably noticed the length of the video. I don't know what it is yet. I just started recording, but that's your heads up. This is not just rushing through the packs. I like to take my time, look at the art. I like to read the attacks and just kind of see what stuff does. Like, I'm not super competitive, but I've played the trading card game a bit, and I know when stuff's kind of cool. And also, I don't reorder the cards. I open them up the way they put them in there. I don't do the pack trick, as they call it. But yeah, anyway, now that I've given you that disclaimer, let's go ahead and check the stuff out. So, Heracross, Horn Attack, Overhead Throw, does 30 damage to one of your bench Pokemon, so that's kind of unfortunate. Oh, I also love so much of the art. Like, it looks so cute a lot of the time. I'm a sucker for cute Pokemon. It's like, oh man, that's awesome. So Mantine, Born Ashore, put a basic Pokemon from either player's discard pile onto that player's bench. That's kind of versatile, actually. Oh, that's a cool looking Scyther. Quick Blow, not all that great, but Gather the Crew. Hey, that's not bad. So this is the Hisuian, or Hisuian, I think is they pronounce it. I know, it could be either way. But the Hisuian Basculin, and this symbol here, that actually means it doesn't take any specific energy. It's free. You can use this just for free. You don't see that very often, but that's kind of cool. So yeah, Gather the Crew. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and put them onto your bench, then shuffle your deck. That's not bad. Unfortunately, this thing only has 50 HP. That's kind of underwhelming, but oh well. Kricketot and Magnezone. A foil Magnezone. That's kind of cool. It has Giga Magnet. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck and attach any number of metal energy cards you find there to your Pokemon in any way you like, and shuffle the other cards back into your deck. That's pretty cool. If you run a lot of metal energy, as they call it in this, I know it's steel in the video games, but yeah, that could be pretty cool. And then Power Beam. Plus, I guess if you had several of those, you could use, you know, each one once per turn. Ooh, Hisuian Overquill. The heck? Oh, that's such a weird word to look at. But yeah, Tormenting Poison for free. Doesn't cost anything. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During Pokemon checkup, put 5 damage counters on that Pokemon instead of 1. Wow, that's a lot. And then pinning. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. So it kind of like poisons, and then you can stick it there if it's still around. Kamado! Choose a card in your hand and discard the other cards. If you do, draw 4 cards. Oh wow, so you discard everything in your hand. Other than this, if you have no other cards in your hand, you can't use it. Wow. Noctowl. So I guess it's a good way to discard cards, but I mean, honestly, you'd be better off using like a Professor's Research most of the time. Except you get to keep one, so that's kind of cool. Silent Wing, Air Slash, kind of okay, I guess. And then there's a code card, of course. Every pack comes with them. Also, these booster packs look pretty neat. The Hisuian Typhlosion, the Hisuian Decidueye, Horse, and other horse. Man, I don't know. Origin Form, Palgia, and Dialga are really weird looking. Man, I tell you, the first time I ran into them, I'm like, wait, what the heck? Oh, this is wild. Okay, so I'm kind of mixed on this, right? So I like Hisuian Sneasel. All right, I think it's kind of cool looking. It's a weird type. It's like, what, poison fighting? Which is why it's dark in the card game. I know, confusing. But I don't really know about Sneasler. I'm still on the fence about it. But, you know, it's interesting. Oh, Eevee, Resonant Evolution. Once during your turn, when you play a Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your other Eevee, you may search your deck for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it onto this Pokemon to evolve it. Oh, that's cool. So if you get one Eevee down, you can then evolve all of your Eevees. That's actually really cool. Ooh, I like that. That's a good idea for it. Ooh, what do we have here? Machamp V! Oh, look at that thing. That looks cool. Revenge Buster. If your bench Pokemon have any damage counters on them, this attack does 50 more damage. So it could be any of your bench Pokemon. They could have just 1 on it, and it does 100 for 2, which isn't too bad. And then Seismic Toss. Huh, interesting. Guess we'll set that aside. It's a good card, right? Should put a sleeve on it. Cranidos. Canceling Cologne. What did it do wrong? Until the end of your turn, your opponent's active Pokemon has no abilities. Ooh, that's actually kind of cool. This includes Pokemon that came into play during that turn. Interesting. And then Piloswine. Oh, that's nice. Blizzard does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's pretty cool. All right, let's put just a little cheap penny sleeve on here. I like those just because they're very affordable, but they're also very lightweight too. All right, here we go. Well, I mean, that was what, pack number 2? Yeah, pack number 2. Already off to a pretty solid start. Guess that's a good thing. Got 36 in here, so 34 more to go if you count this one. Ooh, another one of those Eevee. Heracross, Ponyard. Wait, what? That's weird. Wait a second. Hold on. That's so strange. All right, rewind. So, normally, you don't ever get repeats of commons in a pack. Like, that's just unusual, 119. So, I'm just scrolling through here, right? And there's another Eevee. 119. That's so bizarre. That's really strange. Like, that shouldn't normally happen. I've opened up a lot of packs. Sometimes you get stuff upside down. Ooh. Oh, that looks awesome. Oh, cool. So I guess that's another thing from the Trainers Gallery. I guess they added some more. TG3 out of TG30. So this is Kingdra. It's got Claire on it with her Kingdra. Deep Sea King, not to be confused with a Sea King. It's Kingdra. When your active Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack, your opponent's Pokemon, or from your opponent's Pokemon, you may move any amount of water energy from that Pokemon to this Pokemon. That's kind of cool. And then it does 40 damage for each water attached to it. So that's pretty strong, actually. Now, this is kind of a reprint. It's like an alternate art reprint of another Kingdra from a previous set. I don't remember which one off the top of my head, but that's kind of how they do things. It's neat. Hisuian Avalugg, Massive Ice. This Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. And Mountain Gale, if a stadium is in play, it does 120 more damage, but then you discard that stadium. Oof. That's a lot of damage, but it's 4 energy though. Feather Ball. Search your deck for a Pokemon that has no retreat cost, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. That's kind of a cool idea. Uxie! Poor Uxie's just an uncommon. What did it do? Wise Guidance. Search your deck for a card and put it in your hand, then shuffle your deck. That's not bad. I mean, that's the only thing it really has going for it, but that's pretty good. Energy Lotto. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. You may reveal an energy card you find there and put it into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. Huh. Interesting. So you can get any energy with it. So it's not just basic energy. Like you get a special energy. Those are usually a little harder to get, which is why I mentioned that, because that could be a decent way to get it if your deck really depends on that. All right, so we've got Psyduck spacing out. Deal 10 damage from this Pokemon if you get heads. Togepi, very, very happy Togepi. It's so happy it has Touch of Happiness. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench during your turn, you may heal 10 damage from your active Pokemon. That's kind of nice. Just 10 damage, not 10 damage counters. Magnetic Cat, shuffle up to 3 metal energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. So that's a good way to get those back for Magnezone, now that we know what that does. Neat Ralts. Misdreavus. Mumble. Aw, Shaman! Not my favorite form of Shaman, but I still like it. In fact, you might notice my new little friend back there. I couldn't resist. I had to get the Sitting Cutie. They had the Skyform Shaman plush, and they had a shiny Celebi. I'm like, I need it. I need it now. I gotta get it. I gotta get it. So cute. I love Skyform Shaman. Oh, I should probably read this. You can use this attack only if you go second, and only during your first turn. Search your deck for up to 3 cards and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Wow. So you can use it only if you go second, and only during your first turn, but then you get like 3 of whatever you want. It's pretty cool. So Vespiquen, reveal any number of Sweet Honey cards from your hand. It does 60 damage for each card you revealed in this way, so you don't even have to discard them. I guess that's kind of cool. Psychic Energy. Gutsy Pickaxe. Reveal the top card of your deck. If that card is a Fighting Energy card attached to one of your bench Pokemon, if it's not a Fighting Energy card, put it into your hand. Hey, that's not bad, because it's not a supporter card, so you can play this, any number of these during your turn. And any way you look at it, you get another card for it, so, that's pretty cool. Oh my gosh, that Duat is so relaxed. What? Man, so happy. Razor Shell. Alright, Yon Mega. You have more cards in your hand than your opponent. This attack does 80 more damage for 2, so it's 120 for 2. Oh, I need to put a sleeve on this Kingdra. My bad. There we go. Alright, so moving right along here. So we've got Togepi, very happy Togepi again. Magnemite, Ralts. Oh yeah, Hisuian Sneasel. Misdreavus, whoa! Oh, that is awesome, what the heck? Oh, that's so cool. That looks so cool, what? So this is Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, which is a really good card, just in general. This is from the Trainers Gallery, TG18 from this set. So that's awesome. So yeah, this thing is a beast. Once during your turn, you may attach a Psychic Energy card from your hand to one of your bench Psychic Pokemon. If you attach energy to a Pokemon in this way, draw 2 cards. So you attach energy, that's extra energy per turn. You draw cards, and Max Geist does 30 more damage for each Psychic Energy attached to all of your Pokemon. What? That is so strong. So that's really cool to get an alternate art of that. And then there's Hisuian Basculegion. Now I know, but wait, what's the non-Hisuian Basculegion like? Why does it say Hisuian? It's probably just for cards that affect Hisuian Pokemon. That they did that with Think Alolan Pokemon. They've done that with Galarian Pokemon. It is a little odd if, you're not used to it, but yeah. So Grudge Dive. If any of your Pokemon were knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon during their last turn, this attack does 90 more damage and your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. So that's 120 for 1, and they're confused. Or it can do 80 for 3. Interesting. Shield on, hard headbutt, confront. Hisuian Heavy Ball. See, that's what I mean. Oh, it is interesting because there is a non-Hisuian Heavy Ball. So, Feather Ball was new to the Hisui region, but yeah. Look at your face-down prize cards. You may reveal a basic Pokemon you find there, put it into your hand, and put this Hisuian Heavy Ball in its place as a face-down prize card. If you don't reveal a basic Pokemon, put this card in the discard pile. Then shuffle your face-down prize cards. Okay, so like if it fails, then you just discard it, I guess. And then you have to shuffle those around. So, I mean, it's a good way to look at your prize cards to know what's in there. You can get a basic Pokemon. So often those get stuck in there. Oh, you knocked over the vase! You did it! I see you. You did it, Perugly. You knocked it down. Oh, I love the art that kind of like tells a story. Like you look at that and you just know, what's going on there. Like some of the art, I tell you, it's so great. It's one of my favorite parts of the card game, to be honest. Like they've gotten so good. I was stopping and thinking about it. They've done probably over 15,000 pieces of art for the trading card game. Like that's so cool. That's so much art, so much imagination. So Stand Sentry, basic energy attached to your bench Pokemon can't be discarded by an effect of your opponent's item or supporter cards. That's kind of interesting. It's nice. Sudowoodo. Vamoose! If this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, it has no retreat cost. Nice. I'm out of here. See ya. And it does damage itself with its attack. Honey Courier. Oh, that's good for the Vespiquen. Search your deck for an item card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So I guess you can get some honey with that. Some sweet honey to attract Pokemon in great numbers. Drifloon. Hey, I see what you did there. You knocked over the vase. Ooh. That is cool. Look at that Hisuian Typhlosion. That's who I started with. I started with Cyndaquil when I played through Legends Arceus. And, oh man, it looked really cool when it evolved. I'm like, what? It's awesome. So Supernatural Orb. You must discard a Psychic Energy card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may make your opponent's active Pokemon burned and confused. Ooh, that's nasty. And Shadow Bind for 2 for 90. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat, so they can't even get out of that burned and confused status. That's nasty. Ooh, it looks cool too. Water Energy, Golduck. Oh, that's a cool looking Golduck. Aqua Edge, and Entangled Dive. Discard each player's active Pokemon and all attached cards. All right, see ya, Golduck. Bye. Grant? That's kind of weird. X and Y remakes confirmed. All right, I mean, that's fine. During this turn, your fighting Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Wow. During your turn, if this Grant is in your discard pile, you may discard 2 cards, except any Grant from your hand. If you do, put this Grant into your hand. This effect doesn't use up your supporter card for the turn. Oh, so this, I guess you use it from the discard pile? Yeah, wow, that's weird. Yeah, I mean, if this Grant is in your discard pile, so it's not like the one you play, like I think you get this top effect when you play it from your hand, but I think you can discard 2 cards except Grant from your hand and then put it back into your hand and it doesn't count as a supporter, so you get that back. That's really cool for fighting decks. Wow, because then you get that effect back anytime you want, really. Oh, that is scary. That's actually really cool. Whoa. Hisuian Electrode. So it doesn't take any energy for either of its attacks. Triple draw 3 cards, and Irritated Bomb. 0 for 50. Ooh, it has 1 retreat though, come on. I feel like it should be faster than that, right? Make everything free. All right, so you've got Kricketot, Trip Over, Sudowoodo, Vamoose, Combee, Drifloon, Psyduck, another Psyduck. Now this dupe can't happen. This isn't like that Eevee from earlier, because if you get a reverse foil, it could be the same as one in the pack. It's always funny when you get them like back to back like that though, but that does happen. Like, you know, there's another one. Wait, is this a different? Yeah, this is a different Hisuian Overquill if I'm not mistaken. If you have at least 3 dark energy in play, this attack does 90 more damage. Ooh, so that's 120 for 1, but you have to have 3 dark energy in play total. It can be on any of your Pokemon. And Pierce, 2 for 70. Hey, there's that dark energy, right? Zizu! Or Zisu. That's right, Zisu. Draw cards until you have 1 more card in your hand than your opponent. Nice. That's kind of funny, actually. That's a good card, though. Teleportation Burst on this Curlia. Canceling Cologne. All right. Getting some cool stuff in here so far. What do you guys think? What do y'all think of the set, the cards so far? I like it. I think that there's some neat cards in here. Rowlet! Jump on. Oshawott. All right, Cyndaquil? Cyndaquil? Have I seen the Cyndaquil? I don't think I have. Here's another Scyther. That's neat that they have different cards for some of them. Because I know there was a different Scyther earlier. Guard Press on the Stantler. Not that interesting, really. Yanma. A reverse foil canceling Cologne. Ooh, Hisuian Braviary. 130 HP. Psywave. 0. Or cost 0. Does 30 damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So that's kind of nice for free. And then Slashing Strike. 3 for 120, but it can't use Slashing Strike next turn. So you can always fall back on Psywave, I guess. Dartrix, Drifblim, Spooky Balloon, 1 for 50, and you also put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so that's kind of cool. Trekking Shoes. Look at the top card of your deck. You may put that card in your hand. If you don't, discard that card and draw a card. Oh, that's also kind of nice. So a little bit of, you know, drawing, acceleration, if you will. You know, if you don't like what you see, you can get rid of it and try again, I guess. That's actually not bad, because again, it's an item card. So you're not limited to 1 of those per turn. Usually item cards, they don't let you draw, they don't let you draw cards. Or if they do, it's usually kind of not very many. So it's always nice when you get an effect that lets you do that. Stantler, Yanma, Hoot Hoot, Reverse Foil Togepi. Oh, whoa! Oh, that's cool. That's wild looking. So you got, this is a mouthful to say, Origin Form Palkia V-Star. Evolves from Origin Form Palkia V. 280 HP. It's got Subspace Swell. Does 20 more damage for each bench Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Whoa. And then Star Portal. During your turn, you may attach up to 3 water energy cards from your discard pile to your water Pokemon in any way you like. Can't use more than 1 V-Star power in a game. So that's kind of nice. Good way to get a lot of energy back from your discard pile, I guess. It's pretty neat. There's the V-Star marker, so I can use that to indicate that I have used my V-Star. Roxanne! You can use this card only if your opponent has 3 or fewer prize cards remaining. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck. Then you draw 6 cards and your opponent draws 2. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, that's so mean. But you can't use it earlier on, though, so it's kind of limited, but that's very mean. Voice of Happiness on this Togetic. It's so happy. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, it may heal 30 damage from your active Pokemon. Okay, so it kind of heals. Another one of those gutsy pickaxes. That's nice. Huh, yeah, that's pretty wild. All right, so let's go through this one here. Alright, Hisuian Quillfish. I don't think I've seen this thing. Spiny Rush. Flip a coin until you get tails. Does 10 damage for each heads. But it's free. It doesn't cost you any energy to use. Poochyena. Slight Intrusion. Just a slight one. Glameow. Fake Out. Yanma. Ooh, Reverse Foil Mightyena. Hustle Bark. If your opponent has any Pokemon VMAX in play, this Pokemon's attacks cost 3 colorless less, so it can do Wild Tackle for free, which is 3 for 160, or free for 160 if they have a VMAX. But it also does 50 to itself. That's a lot of damage though. Like, I mean, both to itself, but also just in general. Like, that's a good counter to VMAX, I guess. Oh, I'm seeing double again. That's so weird. Now again, that one was a reverse foil, and then I had the normal one, but yeah. So Gapejaw Bog. Whenever either player puts a basic Pokemon from their hand onto their bench, put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. Oh, that's nasty. That's so nasty. Togetic again. Ooh, Ursaring. Continuous slap. Flip a coin until you get tails. It does 40 damage for each heads. All right, and then strength. How much does that do? 3 for 100. That's not bad. Pretty cool. All right, so just getting through here. Trying to think of any other like fun stories from Legends Arceus or just stuff in general lately. I don't know, I enjoyed it. Scyther, Eevee, Heracross, Mantine. Oh yeah, we've seen that thing. Syrian Quillfish. Ah, Reverse Foil Gapejaw Bog. That thing is so nasty. So Diancie, or however you pronounce it, Princess's Curtain. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to your benched basic Pokemon. Interesting. So it kind of sits there. It has to be active though, that's the problem. But at least it can do a little bit of damage, but it can draw cards. So that's kind of nice, I guess. I don't know. Kamado, Noctowl, and Bowdon. Sand Breath. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. 3 for 180. Ooh. On a non-Pokemon V. That's a lot. But, you know, you have to discard 2 energy, so I don't know. Probably not worth it. But again, fighting type, so you can always use the one thing. Now, I haven't seen any, like, Rapid Strike or Single Strike or Fusion Strike stuff, which is kind of interesting. You know, maybe that era is over. I know we have the V-Stars and stuff. But, you know, even in the last set, there were like a few, I think. Not many. Reggie Gate. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon and put it on your bench, then shuffle your deck. And then Blizzard Bind, 3 for 100. If the defending Pokemon is a Pokemon V, it can't attack during your opponent's next turn. Oh, that's nasty. That's quite nasty. Kleavor! Oh, man, I got a shiny Scyther in my game, and I evolved it into Kleavor. It was really cool. So Route does 30 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and then Rocky Tackle, 3 for 150, but it also does 50 damage to itself, so that's kind of unfortunate. Route could be pretty good, though. Another Hippowdon, Dark Patch. Ooh, Dark Patch is back. Attach a basic Dark Energy card from your discard pile to one of your bench Dark Pokemon, or Darkness, or whatever it is. I know it's Darkness and Metal in the TCG as opposed to Dark and Steel in the video games. But I think I usually call it Metal in the card game, but I think I still usually call it Dark, even though it's Darkness. I don't know. Just little Pokemon TCG oddities, I guess. I kind of like that stuff, though. Alright, Magnemite, Teddiursa, Hisuian Sneasel. I want to see the Sneasler. Alright, I want to see it. Strevis, Barboach, Reverse Foil Teddiursa. Oh, whoa, that's cool looking. Flying Garchomp. Oh man, that Garchomp in the game, the Alpha Garchomp that like, you know, is level 85. Oh man, it was so funny. The first time I ran into it, it like roared at me and it was just so scary. I just booked it out of there. And then I curiously walked back because I thought I saw it sleeping. Sure enough, it was sleeping. It like scared me. It slept and I snuck up to it. I threw one ball at it and I caught that thing and I used it on my team. It's level 100 now. It was great. It was really fun. All right, so 200 HP, Dragon Claw, 3 for 120, and then Sonic Strike. Discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 220 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon, so it can hit anything on the field, and it'll probably knock it out too. So even though it's very expensive, it is very strong. Like being able to take anything on the field out for 220. I mean, some things will survive it, but not much. Not much at all. It's basically free prizes. If you can find a way to get energy on that thing to use its attacks again, that'll be pretty nice if you ask me. Okay, so let's put a sleeve on that. Man, look at all these cards in the first half of that. It's a lot of good stuff. I feel like this is a satisfactory box. Oh, we got Chatot! Collect and jabber on. Kind of funny. Not really good, but it's just funny. Alright, Mischievous. Ooh, reverse foil Zissou. We've got Regidrago, Dragon's Horde. Once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may draw cards until you have 4 cards in your hand. Ooh. But you can't use more than 1 Dragon's Horde ability each turn. And Giant Fangs, 3 for 160, specifically a grass and a fire, and then 1 of anything. But that's pretty nice. Dragon's Horde is pretty cool. It has to be active, but still, it's a good way to, you know, get some extra cards in your hand. Electric Energy, Choi! Each player reveals their hand and then draw 3 cards. Just you draw the 3 cards, don't worry. Kind of neat. Look at that smug Quilava. It just looks so smug. It's pretty boring as far as its effects go, but, you know, it just looked so smug. I don't remember. I don't think I've seen the Cyndaquil yet, though. We saw Oshawott, and we've seen Rowlet for sure. Ralts, Nickit, Togepi, Chatot, Versatile Feather Ball, Mamoswine, Blizzard, 3 for 80, and it also does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, so that's pretty nice. And then Iceberg Press, 4 for 170. Discard an energy from this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. The defending Pokemon can't attack. Oof. But you have to discard an energy, so you're kind of using up your own energy pool for that too. But, you know, that's a lot of damage too. Could be pretty nice. Vengeful Cut. This attack does 30 more damage for each damage counter on all of your bench Poniard. Could be interesting. You knocked it over. Azelf. Poor uncommon Azelf. Mind Bend. Your opponent's active Pokemon's now confused. That's pretty boring. Quite boring. Like, not that interesting. I mean, 1 for 30, you know, that's not, and confusing. That's not that bad on a basic that isn't a Pokemon V, but, you know, really? I don't know. It's not that exciting. It's kind of neat to see, though. Like, it's cool. I mean, it's just uncommon. What do you expect? Actually, a lot of the cards in the game that are good are, like, uncommons, believe it or not. Don't write them off just because they're, you know, cheap. Ooh. Evil Baffling. If your opponent has 2 or fewer prize cards remaining, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to your bench Pokemon V. Ooh. That's kind of cool. That has some interesting uses for sure. Because this thing, I mean, it doesn't have to be active for that to take effect. So you just kind of keep it on your bench and it kind of protects your bench Pokemon V, not your active Pokemon V, but your bench ones. And then Sharp Fang, 3 for 110. You know, it's okay. It's kind of neat. Regirock. So it has Regigate as well. And then Giga Impact, 3 for 140. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So that's kind of unfortunate. Kricketune. Whoop. That Alpha Kricketune, though. I used that thing for a long time in my game, too. Then I got the Cleavor. It's like, I want that. So your grass Pokemon in play, except any Kricketune, get plus 40 HP. You can't apply more than 1 Swelling Tune ability at a time, though. So that's nice. You give your other grass-type Pokemon an extra 40 HP. Pretty good. Spicy Seasoned Curry. Your active Pokemon is now burned. Heal 40 damage from it. Interesting. Alright, so almost through the first half of the box. The second half always goes a lot quicker because we've already read most of the stuff. But, you know, it's been a pretty nice first half, though. I'm impressed. Poniard, Poochyena, Yanma, Drifloon, Sudowoodo. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, that's some cool artwork, though. Like, I do like it. It's such a long Pokemon. Like, it's really weird like that. I think that's what I don't like about Hisuian Sneasler. This card is Hisuian Sneasler, as I mentioned earlier. But, I mean, sometimes it looks all right. Like, this is cool art. Of course, I really do like Koki Saito's art. Like, definitely one of my favorite artists. So, Carry and Climb, very fitting if you play the game. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your active Pokemon's retreat cost is 2 less. That is really good. That is really, really good. That's great. Yeah, its attack isn't really all that great though. 2 for 60, very mediocre, but that ability is very nice. And theoretically it stacks. If you had 2 Hisuian Sneasel, you can knock something with 4 retreat down to 0. That's nice. Oh, here's something kind of in a familiar vein. If you played way back, Keldeo EX, I think it was? Yeah, you'd know why. Smash Kick, and then Line Force does 20 more damage for each of your bench Pokemon. So, could be cool. Could be what, 110 for 2? Maybe more if you have like a stadium that increases that. I guess. Rant again. Togetic again. Cool. Alright, so we are now officially, well, after I finish this pack, we're officially halfway through. So Hoot Hoot, Pawniard, Poochyena, Yanma, Drifloon, super effective glasses. They're super effective. What? How are these so effective? I wish my glasses were that effective. My vision's terrible. I need to get me some super effective glasses. So when applying weakness to damage from the attacks of the Pokemon, this card is attached to, done to your opponent's active Pokemon. Apply it as ×3. Whoa, that's pretty good. So if you hit weakness, if you hit their weakness and this thing is attached, you do 3 times as much damage instead of 2 times. That is big. That is really big. That could be very, very strong. But it's situational, you know, if they're not playing a deck that this works against, oh man, but that could also turn the tide in your favor for like those little tech cards. If you put something in and you attach that, you could just, oh, that opens up a lot of possibilities. So Miss Magius, or Miss Magius, I can never pronounce it right. So Ominous Pros, your opponent reveals their hand. If they have 4 or more cards in their hand, choose all but 3, and your opponent shuffles the chosen cards into their deck. Whoa, that is nasty. I mean, it doesn't really do a lot of damage other than that, but you could potentially lock them if you're really wily about things. Gardenia's Vigor! Draw 2 cards. If you drew any cards in this way, attach up to 2 grass energy cards from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. Ooh, that's pretty nice. Good for those grass Pokemon. Whiscash. Thrash. If you get tails, it does 60 damage to itself. If heads, it does 60 more to the opponent. Oh, there it is. I must have this honey. This sweet honey to attract Pokemon in great numbers! Finally, I need a lot of these cards. So choose one of your Pokemon and then flip a coin until you get tails, or each heads heal 40 damage from that Pokemon. That's kind of cool. And again, not a supporter card, just an item. So you can use any number of those. All right, so on to the second half. Let's see what we get. Pretty cool stuff so far. I should really lay some of this out here. Yeah, there we go. Look at all this. There we go. You can kind of see it in the background with this setup. All right, so Hisuian Quillfish, Patilil, Nickit, Hippopotas. There's Cyndaquil. Oh, that's really cute too. Charge Energy. Search your deck for up to 2 basic energy cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Cool. Foil Grant. Nice. Ursaluna. Oh, this thing took me forever to figure out how to evolve it. I'll be honest, I played for like 70 hours, or I think it was 65 hours, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't figure it out. And it's like, man, I feel like the moon, well, I won't say it, but it was a pain. It's like, I was kind of close, but it didn't seem like, since the condition for it doesn't really show on any interface, you just have to like literally look. You know, there's your hint, okay, if you, yeah. Anyway, Pete Hunt, search or put up to 2 cards in your discard pile into your hand. That's always nice. And then Bulky Bump, 200 damage. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon though, so that's kind of unfortunate. But you know, Fire Energy, Piloswine, Gardenia, Whiscash. All right, so yeah, that's such a pain. Some of the evolution methods in that game are so obtuse. It's just ridiculous. But other than that, I did most of it without looking anything up. And then it just got to the point where I'm just literally flying around, running around, like, not doing anything. It's like, okay, I want to continue. I want to have more fun again. And I did. It was fun. It was good. All right. Yeah, nothing really new in here. Like I said, second half goes a lot faster, huh? Because you've already kind of seen everything. Have I seen this? I don't think I've seen the Hisuian Voltorb. So, Cheerful Charge for free. You can use this attack only if you go second and only during your first turn. Choose up to 2 of your bench Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search your deck for a basic energy card and attach it to that Pokemon. Then shuffle your deck. That's actually quite nice. Yeah, that's quite nice because, that's a great way to get a nice start. If they're bench Pokemon V in particular, it's great. Yeah. But, if you don't go second, but you can also just, like, if you win the coin flip, you can say, hey, I'm going second. Thanks. Regigigas, Ancient Wisdom. Once during your turn, if you have Regirock, Regice, Registeel, Regieleki, and Regidrago in play, you may attach up to 3 energy cards from your discard pile to one of your Pokemon. So you can do that, once for, you're probably not going to have 2 of these. Theoretically, if you have 2 Regigigas out and all the other things on your bench, you could use that twice, but, you even need to. And then Gigaton Break, 5 for 150. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a VMAX, it does 150 more. Oof. That's pretty strong. Very situational, but, if you can get all those Regis out, you'll also have a lot of type coverage, which is nice. It's always appreciated. Okay. Got Eevee. So weird getting the 2 Eevee in the same pack, not even reverse foil. Oh, that's cool. Frosmoth. Ice Dance. As often as you like during your turn, you may attach a water energy card from your hand to one of your benched water Pokemon. Very nice. Very cool art. Oh yeah, there's that Regice again. Jubilife Village. Once during each player's turn, that player may shuffle their hand into their deck and draw 5 cards. If they do, their turn ends. So that's kind of alright, I guess. Smugquilava and Dark Patch. Put a sleeve on this thing. There we go. All right, continuing on. Sometimes packs they give you trouble for no good reason. It's like, what? Scyther, Eevee, Heracross. I feel like I've seen these same things all the time. There's commons and then there's extra commons. I feel like those are all extra common. So Hisuian Arcanine, that's neat. Boulder Crush and Scorching Horn. If this Pokemon has any fire energy attached, this attack does 80 more damage and your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. Ooh, so 160 for 3, 2 fighting and a fire, and they're burned. Not bad. So Grass Energy, the Electrode, Gutsy Pickaxe, and the Duat. That Duat isn't smug. That thing is relaxed and happy. It's just living its best life. Alright, we've got Ralts, Hisuian Sneasel, Misdreavus, Barboach, Scyther, Drifloon, ooh, oh, cool. I actually have the V-Star, so I'm set. So this is the thing I need to evolve from. To use my Palkia V-Star. So, yeah, rule the region. 1 water, search your deck for a stadium, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Then shuffle your deck. Okay. And then Hydro Break. 3 for 200. During your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. So, I guess it's a good way to get stadiums out, I guess. But, wait, what? Wait and see, Turbo. Yeah, just wait and see. You can use this card only if you go second and only during your first turn. Search your deck for a basic energy card and attach to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. Your turn ends. Oh man, that's kind of interesting. It's pretty cool. There's usually not a lot you want to do on your first turn anyway. This wouldn't work as well in combination with the things, the attacks that you use on your first turn, because this ends your turn. So, you wouldn't be able to use those afterwards. But it is still nice because you don't have to have one of those Pokemon instead. I don't know. It's interesting to say the least. Get out of there. Get out of there. I see them in my camera. I see them. Throw them off the table. I'll pick them up later. All right, Magnemite, Ralts, Hisuian Sneasel, Misdreavus, Barboach, Rowlet, reverse foil one at that. Hisuian Avalugg, Lightning Energy, Trekking Shoes, Golduck, and Grant. Alright. What about this? We've got Chatot. I see Chatot. Psyduck, Drifloon, Sudowoodo, Magnemite. Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Oh, full art Alistair. Now this is also from the Trainers Gallery, so I think there's another full art Alistair, so this is like an alternate art of that. So draw 3 cards. If you drew any cards in this way, discard up to 3 cards from your hand. You must discard at least 1 card. So you have to discard 1, but you could discard more if, you want. Like sometimes there's things that are, that take effect on things in the discard pile. Sometimes you just want to get rid of cards, odd as it sounds. So Shine of Happiness. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may heal 90 damage from your active Pokemon. So it's a nice healing thing. If you have this whole evolution line, you can use that to gradually heal your active. And then, at the end of the day, you can do 3 for 120. It's all right. Cranidos, Golduck, and Switch Cart. What's this? Switch your active basic Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. If you do, heal 30 damage from the Pokemon you move to your bench. It's kind of cute, actually. It's like a switch and a healing thing all in one. Aww. And it's like a little, tow cart. What do they call those things? I remember having one when I was 5. Combee, Chatot, Psyduck, Drifloon, Sudowoodo, reverse foil Togekiss, that's neat. Vespiquen with that Honey Rush again. Now that we've seen what Honey Rush, or the honey does, I want to get more of that sweet honey. Dartrix, Dripblim, and the code. Oh, I need to get a sleeve on this thing. My bad. Sorry about that, Alistair. Alright, so getting nearer to the end. Drifloon, Psyduck, Togepi, Magnemite, Ralts. Ooh, this is cool. Radiant Greninja. So it's kind of like shiny Pokemon. They've changed shiny Pokemon so much over the years. But their general theme is you can't have more than one of it in your deck. In this case, the Radiant Pokemon, that's a shiny Pokemon. It's been shining, star. I don't know, it's wild. But yeah, so it's like a shiny Greninja. Cool. So you can only have one Radiant Pokemon in general, whether it's this or something else. This is a basic Pokemon, so it's kind of like the other shinies. Well, kind of, I don't know. There's also the shiny Vault ones, which are just alternate art. It's very confusing, so I'm glad that they just said, hey, it's a Radiant Pokemon. We're not even going to name it something that similar. So yeah, concealed cards. You must discard an energy card from your hand in order to use this ability. Once during your turn, you may draw 2 cards. That's cool. You discard 1 energy and you get 2 cards for it. Always nice. And then Moonlight Shuriken. Discard 2 energy from this Pokemon. This attack does 90 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. That's really nice. So that's pretty cool. It's a good way to get some extra cards, discard some energy. Some cards, their abilities, they like having energy in the discard pile. There are sometimes trainers that like that. I don't know, there's a lot of good applications to that. So that's pretty cool. It also has a neat pattern. Can you kind of see that with the light overhead, that foily pattern? It's very neat. It's on the Pokemon itself, but not the background of the art, which is a neat style. I like that. Now, it's not a secret rare. Guess we should clarify this. It is number 46 out of 189. So I don't know how common they are, but So Galley, this thing has Buddy Catch. I got you, buddy. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a supporter card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Wow, that's actually really nice. And Swirling Slice. Move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon. That's not terrible, because you can attach there whatever you would, or you can attach to Gallade whatever you would attach to your bench, let's say, and that's fine. And then if it's looking close to being knocked out, you can just, not bother attaching, just attach to the bench directly. Knocked Owl. All right, well, that's pretty cool. Let's get this thing in a sleeve. I don't know how rare it is. I did pre-order that Radiant Eevee collection for The Pokemon Go set actually coming out, I think next month. Or no, it's in July. That's when the cards start rolling out for that. That thing just looked really cool. It's like, all right, I better get it just in case. So we got Combee, Drifloon, Psyduck, Togepi, Magnemite. Oh, that's neat. Oh, Jasmine. You have a Bronzong now. Wow. All right, that's cool. Metal transfers. Often as you like during your turn, you may move a metal energy card from one of your Pokemon to another of your Pokemon. That's pretty nice. And then Zen Headbutt. So cool, one of those trainer gallery Pokemon. Mamoswine, Fire Energy, Kricketune, and Unidentified Fossil. Play this card as if it were a 60 HP basic colorless Pokemon. At any time during your turn, you may discard this card from play. This card can't retreat. Oh man, you can discard it whenever. Huh, interesting. Hey, Bronzong, different Bronzong, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's fire Pokemon. Wow. Just all. All right, that thing counters fire pretty well. And then hammer in 3 for 100. That's not bad. Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually. I like this Bronzong, though. It looks very neat. I like Jasmine. Like, she's great. Like, she's just so shy. Like, she just kind of keeps to herself. But Amphy, she takes care of sick Amphy. Like, I know that's, like, why everyone likes her. And she rides around on a giant Steelix. I mean, that's pretty cool, too. But, I don't know. I just always have liked Jasmine. So, Yanma, Hoot Hoot, Kricketot, Sudowoodo, Combee, ooh, a versatile Rapidash. Why is it not shiny? Come on. Ring of Fire. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now burned. During your opponent's next turn, that Pokemon can't retreat. Oh, that's mean. Registeel! Oh, so the Regigates, this is a good way to actually get all of your Regis out. I forgot about that. Now that we know what Regigigas does, you can use the Regigate on any of your Regis to search for Regigigas, to search for Registeel, Regice, all of the Regis. So that makes sense. Interesting. And also, I think what I said earlier, if you had 2 Regigigas, like, in thinking about it, no, wait. I was thinking there's, like, 4. But no, they added the other 2. So it would be a full bench unless you did something to extend your bench, which there are a few things that do that. But it's unreliable. But still, if you commit to having your entire field Regis, they'll get going. So this attack does 50 less damage for each colorless in your opponent's active Pokemon's retreat cost. Wow, all right. So it hits things that have like free retreat really hard. It's even pretty good if they have a retreat cost of 1. Pretty nice, actually. All right, cool. Now it makes sense to me. Now it makes sense. I used to play this like Regigigas level X deck that had some of the other Regis, and it had Chatot G in it. It was so cool. I love that deck because it was all about like manipulating what your opponent draws, because you could reorder their deck, like the top 4 cards of their deck. So you try to get them to a point where there's nothing that they can draw, and then you're just using this Chatot to reorder the top cards of their deck. So then they could never draw anything. It was so mean, but it was so fun. I used Regigigas to just take everything down. So this Leafeon, Energy Garden. Search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards of different types and attach them to your Pokemon in any way you like. Then shuffle your deck. So you have to get energy cards of different types, but you can get 3, so that's pretty cool. And then Leafy Cyclone. During your next turn, this Pokemon can attack. Oh, Golden Double Turbo Energy. Oh, this is a secret rare. Number 216 out of 189. So these are very rare. So as long as this card is attached to a Pokemon, it provides 2 colorless energy. The attacks of the Pokemon this card is attached to do 20 less damage to your opponent's Pokemon. So it does a little less, but you get 2 energy on it like right away. So that's very cool. Ooh, I gotta get that thing in the sleeve right away. Oh, that's awesome. Oh man. It's always a good feeling when you get one of the golden cards, because they don't even come in every booster box. They're quite rare. All right, and that's a good card to have. Like, it's not a Pokemon, it's not anything fancy, but it's something that you could put in a lot of different decks. So it's always good to have that. Now, that's just a special version of the normal double turbo energy. So you can just play the normal ones if you want. Like all the gold cards like that, they're just super rare versions of existing cards. So Hisuian Basculin, Hisuian Braviary. Or Basculegion, I'm sorry. Water Energy, Shieldon, Heavy Ball, and Purugly. Alright, just a few more packs. Looks like 4 packs left. But fantastic box I've had so far, which is kind of nice. Alright, Chatot. Yeah, I didn't have very good luck with whatever the last one was, Brilliant Stars. It's like, I even ended up getting another booster box. I didn't get very good stuff in it either. Absol. So Swirling Disaster. This attack does 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. That's pretty nice. And then look at this, Claw Rend. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any damage counters on it, it does 70 more damage. So you're hitting 130 for 2 if you've already done the Swirling Disaster. So that's pretty good, actually. Powdon, Energy Lotto, and Smug Quilava again. Alright, 3 packs. 3 packs. Can I do this in under an hour? I think so. I think I'll just barely get there. Aw! Defensive Posture. Flip a coin. If heads during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks. Just gonna hide here, hide under my hair. Rufflet. Ponyta. I feel like there's a lot of commons I haven't seen there, huh? Ooh, oh wait, another Garchomp? What? That's also kind of weird. Again, booster boxes are often like big booster packs, if that makes sense. So very rarely do you get repeat of like the not secret rare cards, but like the EXs, Vs, GXs, secret, whatever they are. You almost never, in a sealed booster box, you almost never get duplicates. Now that Garchomp looks really cool. I'm kind of happy with that. But it's just another one of those oddities that, it's just strange. Like, that doesn't usually happen. Again, if you've opened up a lot of booster boxes, you kind of see them like big booster packs. And that's cool if you're trying to get like reverse foils or other cards for your set, because you're less likely to run into duplicates of the big ones. So that's why, if you've opened up a lot, you kind of see that's, I'm sure it happens, but it's just pretty rare. So I don't know. Ooh, reverse foil Hisuian Typhlosion. That's cool. There we go, Regieleki. I think I got them all, right? Oh wait, this thing doesn't have the Regigate. Darn it. Electromagnetic Sonar. Put a trainer card from your discard pile into your hand. That's good too. And then Targeted Bolt. Discard 2 electric energy from this Pokemon, which again, you get back with Regigigas. This attack does 120 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Ooh, so yeah, once you get Regigigas out, you can do this every turn without any trouble. Oh, that's cool. Temple of Sinnoh. All special energy attached to Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's, provide colorless energy, just one, and have no other effect. That is mean. Special energy is over. Canceling Cologne, more like canceling special energy. That's what that stadium does. Oof. You can just play another stadium to get around that, but it can put you in a bind if you don't have a counter. All right, so we've got Petilil, Nickit, we've got Hippopotas, Cyndaquil, Quillfish, not Cyndaquilfish, Uxie, and, oh, cool! It's a full art Gardenia's Vigor. Now, this is indeed a full art. This isn't one of the Trainers Gallery one like the Alistair I had. They look very similar, but that's cool. So yeah, I've already read that effect, but it's nice to get a full art version of it. Roxanne, Togetic, and Gutsy Pickaxe. So yeah, all things considered, I'd say it was a pretty darn good booster box. In fact, let's go down to the pack cam and just kind of take a look here. It's, well, you know what, here, look. There we go. Yeah, pretty good stuff if you ask me, quite a lot. In fact, actually in looking at it, can't really see that Shadow Rider Calyrex there. But yeah, that's pretty darn nice. So anyway, that is a booster box, 36 booster packs of the upcoming Astral Radiance set. Sword and Shield Astral Radiance. That releases, I believe it's May 27th, 2022. And, I think there's like pre-release type events or the build and battle box things you can get early too. in the pre-releases if they're available in your area. But yeah, I mean, it's really neat. I like seeing all these cards from the, kind of inspired by Hisui from Legends Arceus. I think that's really neat. And of course, as I showed earlier, I do have an Elite Trainer box that I'll be opening up on the next video, but that'll be next time. This is at the end of this time. So again, huge thanks to my friends at Pokemon for sending me the box to check out, and for the Elite Trainer box, we'll check that out next time. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I've said next time so many times, so I'll see you on that one. Yeah!